Our chaplain conducting Easter services at Mareeba, Northern Australia, 1943. We are 600 miles south of Port Moresby, New Guinea. Our 3 fighter squadrons, 35th, 36th, and the 80th of the 8th Fighter Group, Army Air Corps, have just returned from New Guinea. These are Air Corps personnel preparing to embark on another trip to New Guinea, our 3rd to enemy action. Carbines and barracks bags were standard with our enlisted men. A good share of these men were airplane maintenance section people. They were my responsibility as engineering officer. These are pilots and ground officers getting their first promotion. Note the variety of uniforms, mostly Australian clothing, including shirts, shorts, and fleece-lined flying boots. Lunchtime for our pilots, including Aussie beer. The Jeep, however, is the only one that's loaded. We are at our rest camp in Northern Australia. The officers are playing the enlisted men. Pilot that has had a few beers. Australian beer was good, but sometimes green. The men put it in anything. They hadn't had a beer for 6 months. These planes were built by Bell. They were heavy, well-built, but underpowered at high altitudes due to lack of a supercharger. This is part 2 of First Fighters in New Guinea. Some of the scenes are similar to first real scenes. We begin with Easter at Mareeba, Australia, 1943, having returned from New Guinea for rest. Colonel Wise, our 8th Group CO, was just shown. Rifle range for enlisted men near Townsville, Australia, 1942. Each enlisted man was issued a rifle. The only practice they had was when we returned to Australia from the combat zone in New Guinea. Officers all carried .45 automatic pistols. The pilots carried them in shoulder holsters, and it was hard to be accurate with a .45. 36 squadron pilots and ground officers at Townsville. We continue with camp scenes with enlisted men and officers. Sergeant Cascarella reads the orders prior to our embarkation by boat to New Guinea. Boat trip to Milne Bay, New Guinea, fall of 1942. This is the Dutch ship, and we are going to New Guinea for the second time with Australian troops.